Hello, my name is Zara and I am the founder of Little Learners Education. Little Learners Education helps parents to give their toddler or preschooler an excellent foundation in phonics, maths and literacy without the need to sit still by teaching fun techniques through play-based interactive classes so they gain the skills for a successful head start to school and a passion for learning even if they haven't shown an interest in numbers, shapes and letters before. I am delighted to let you know that over the next 3 Thursdays in August, I will be going live to explain what phonics is all about. I will be focusing on phase 1 and phase 2, which is usually covered in preschool, nursery and reception. I will explain what these phases mean. Phonics is something I am very passionate about. This is where the magic happens in building the skills to read and write. Starting in the earliest, children are taught phonics, the journey of learning to read, write and spell. These vital skills are the beginning of a lifelong literacy journey. Supporting reading and writing development through phonics. Today, I plan to deliver this session in 3 sections. Firstly, to introduce what phonics is and what this means. Secondly, today I will be explaining in detail how one of the 7 aspects in phase 1 phonics, termed general sound discrimination, environmental sounds, is taught within schools. And thirdly, to provide practical ideas to support the development of this phase 1 aspect 1, environmental sounds, in a fun, manageable and engaging way within your homes. Children develop their phonics knowledge through kinesthetic learning. So I would like to make this session interactive. So if you'd like to rewatch the activities with your child, it will encourage participation and a chance to experience phonics together. If you have any questions related to phonics, please feel free to type them in the comment section below. If I'm unable to answer them at the end of this live, I will certainly answer them in next Thursday's live. What is phonics? Phonics is a way of teaching children how to read and write. It helps children hear, identify and use sounds that distinguish one word from another. Phonics involves matching the sounds of spoken English with individual letters or groups of letters. We have 44 sounds, but only 26 letters make up these sounds. Right at the start in step 1, the main focus is on developing speaking and listening skills. Speaking and listening skills are the foundations for reading and writing. So early phonics work involves developing the ability to distinguish between these sounds around us and to create different voice sounds. As adults, we are the role models to demonstrate good speaking and listening. These skills help your child to develop their ability to distinguish between sounds and to speak clearly and audibly with confidence and control. Speaking and listening development starts right from birth when you play with your baby, making frequent eye contact, adding facial expressions and simple noises. So when speaking to your child, be clear about what you mean. Use your face to show feeling. Demonstrate one person speaks at a time. Make eye contact. Speak clearly in a slow voice. Use gesture and use the right tone. There are 3 main steps in phonics development as shown in this slide. Over the next 3 Thursdays, I will go through each one of these steps in turn when talking about how phonics is taught. How is phonics taught? There are many systematic phonics programs such as Read Writing and Jolly Phonics. They vary slightly but all work by the same principle in the way that reading and writing is taught. I will be referring today to the UK's Department for Education Systematic Phonics program called Letters and Sounds, which is most widely used. For those of you who are watching from outside of the UK, the information and ideas I will be providing will be applicable and all the developmental skills and learning relevant. The Department for Education's Systematic Phonics program, called Letters and Sounds, divides the 3 steps mentioned in the previous slide into 6 phases, which is listed here. During the program, the new skills taught are continuously built on previous learning. Most importantly, children need to experience a variety of sounds around them to get them ready for learning letter sounds. They need to develop the step 1s and step 2s mentioned in the previous slide, which is termed here as phase 1. So phase 1 is the beginning of the systematic learning of phonics and takes place predominantly in nursery or preschool. However, you will notice that activities I will be suggesting over the next few Thursdays can also be adapted and carried out with babies and also returned to at any age. Phase 1 phonics. The outcome of phase 1 phonics teaching are to encourage children to talk about and distinguish between different sounds in the environment, remember and recall sounds, remember and recall the order in which sounds are heard, remember patterns of sounds, explore and experiment with sounds and words, progressing on to developing an awareness of differences between the phonemes, which is the sounds that letters make. So what does this mean for your child and what does phase 1 look like in practical terms? There are 7 aspects listed here which are focused on in phase 1. All of these skills need to be experienced and built upon first before moving on to phase 2. Today, I will be going through environmental sounds, where children are exposed to a variety of sounds in the environment and encouraged to discriminate between them and talk about them. So practical ideas to support the development of this phase 1, aspect 1, general sound discriminations, environmental sounds in a fun, manageable and engaging way are firstly, a listening walk. Listening and talking about sounds you can hear indoors, outdoors and whilst carrying out daily routines helps children to really tune into the sounds in the environment and discriminate between the sounds that they can hear. The development of this skill will progress on to supporting the ability to differentiate between phonemes, which are the sounds that letters or groups of letters make. Playing games like Sound Lotto and using commercially produced Sound Lotto games or with household items or making animal sounds for your child to guess helps to listen and remember sounds. This skill of listening and remembering sounds, so knowing a cow makes the sound moo, then seeing a cat and recalling the sound it makes, builds onto knowing what the letter C looks like. So the letter C looks like this, but the sound it makes is k. Then progressing on to the ability to recall and remember the order of speech sounds to make words such as dog by understanding and recalling the sounds that d or g. Recalling it, remembering it, putting it together and blending it makes the word dog. So now here is a clip of Sound Lotto in action at home.
Show me your ears. I got to listen to the sound and tell me which animal it is. Which animal makes this sound? Well done. What animal's that? Cow. You find me the sheep. What sound does a sheep make? Bah. Very good.
So a great game similar to a clip just shown using readily available items within the home is this one. I do like a sing-song, so all of the activities I will be demonstrating will have a song to go with it. So I have my keys, which makes this sound. My phone, which makes this sound. And my clock, which makes this sound. So firstly, allow your child to explore and make the sounds for each of these items. Then play a game whereby your child covers their eyes and then you create the sound for one of the items. and they have to name the item that is creating the sound, and then it's time for a sing song. So are you ready? Here we go. What can you hear? Then you allow them to find the object that makes that sound. Jingle, 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 the keys in the car go jingle, 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 all around little learners. And then listen again. Which item is it next? Everywhere and all around, all around, all around, the sounds everywhere and all around. What can you hear? Ring, 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 the mobile phone goes ring, 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 all around little learners. And then the last one. There are sounds everywhere and all around, all around, all around. There are sounds everywhere and all around. What can you hear? That's right, it's the clock. Goes tick-tock, tick, tick-tock, tick, tick-tock, tick. The clock in the room goes tick-tock, tick, all around little learners. And so on. So as you can see, that is a quick, simple idea using items readily available within the home. So another great game is What's Hidden Inside the Socks, which also links into instrumental sounds, which I will cover in more detail next week. So through matching sound makers, it encourages all three elements of tuning into sounds, listening and remembering sounds, and also talking about sounds. So you can create your own by filling the toes of socks with noisy materials. Here I have shells, buttons, marbles, and coins. So this game is played by asking the child to shake the socks and identify what is inside from the sounds the items make. From feeling and the sounds of the noisy materials, encourage the children to talk about them. So ask questions such as, where might we find the shells or the coins? Then it is time to play the game. Remember, I love a sing song, so here we go with What's Hidden Inside the Socks. What's hidden inside the socks? Inside the socks, inside the socks. Some marbles hidden inside the socks. Let's listen to the sound. What's hidden inside the socks? Inside the socks, inside the socks. Some buttons hidden inside the socks. Let's listen to the sound. And so on. So after you have played that and you've listened to all the sounds, you can then ask your child to guess which socks is making that sound. Is it the socks with the coins, the marbles, the shells, or the buttons? So then you can continue by having your own matching pair of socks. So a sock filled with coins, a sock filled with marbles, a sock filled with shells, and a sock filled with buttons. So you've got a matching set of socks as your child. And then you can play a game where you are making a sound, and they have to find that matching sock that they've got that makes that same sound. So again, listening very carefully and tuning into the sounds. So now to answer the question of how this helps reading and writing. Firstly, it develops concentration, listening skills, and listening attentively. Secondly, it supports tuning into sounds by developing the ability to compare sounds in the environment. This is the skill required to discriminate between different phonemes, which are the speech sounds, when reading and writing, such as hearing the individual speech sounds k, at in the word cat. Listening and remembering sounds supports the skills to listen and remember speech sounds in the order to read and spell. Recalling the order, blending the phonemes together, for example, listening and remembering the sounds d, o, g in order makes the word dog. This then progresses on to recalling what the letter D, O, and G looks like when written and the sounds they make. Then recalling and remembering the order of speech sounds to read the word dog. So I hope you found this useful. I will be back again live next Thursday to answer any questions you had today and to continue explaining what phonics is all about within the next two aspects of phase 1, which is aspect 2 and 3. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. Bye-bye.